All right, good morning, boys and girls. My name is Mr. Walker. I work for Lauderhill 6 through 12. Today is my day to take you guys on a virtual field trip, which is something that I love to do. It's one of my absolute favorite hobbies. It's probably top on the list other than cooking. Today I'm gonna take you guys fishing, or at least show you what it is that I do when I do go fishing. Today I will not be on the boat because it's kind of hard to record while you're steering the boat, using the troll motor and things like that. So I'm just gonna go out into my backyard. As you can see, I am home. And I have a lake here, okay? So I'm gonna fish this lake, and I'm gonna show you guys just the basic techniques that you need in order to catch and safely release fish. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it just as much as I do. Okay, so the first thing we need to know when fishing, you always want to make sure to keep safety first. All right, so when you're out by the lake, I know a lot of you guys probably have lakes in the back of your house or in your apartment complex, wherever you may stay, there might be a lake nearby. So what you want to do when you're bank fishing, which what I am about to do, because like I said, I'm fishing in the backyard. So this is what we call bank fishing, okay? You guys can see right along the actual bank. You always want to make sure of your surroundings. So you may want to canvas the area, make sure that there's no snakes, because snakes can blend in with the grass, or a bunch of dead grass, or be right along the bank, just sunbathing. And you have some snakes that are in the water that's poisonous, that if they bite you, you can go to the hospital. Hell, you might not make it to the hospital, and you can pass away. So always scour the area, make sure that it's safe. Try not to get too close to the water, especially if you do not know how to swim, or if you're out by yourself. Sometimes the best swimmers can get tired, and unfortunately they might drown. So you always want to make sure your surroundings. And now I'm going to show you the actual bait that I'll be using today, so that we can try to lock in some fish. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm trying to get a close up in the bucket. I have shiners in the bucket. All right, normally I do not fish with shiners. I fish with plastic bait. I'll give you a preview of that. So this thing here, this is a bubble valve, an oxygen tube basically, so it keeps my shiners alive. And I'm gonna reach down in the bucket and actually show you the shiners. You see it's a live fish, okay? So I use this, it's a small fish, and we can use it as bait fish that attracts other fish. Fish love things that swim around, that have a natural look to it. So that's what we're gonna use today. And if you go to the bait and tackle store, you can find, here it is, BJ's. It's right here off of, what is this, Flamingo and Broad Boulevard. You can go there, they'll give you the whole setup, a bucket. You have your oxygen pack right here to keep your bait alive. And like I said, typically when I go out in the Everglades, let me see if I can find, I'm more of a plastic bait kind of guy. So you can find these bait in Walmart, Dick's. I always go to Bass Pro Shop and invest in certain lures. Gotta open this up. And this is plastic bait, artificial. Maybe the pack probably costs $5. You might get 20 bait in there. And you go out, fish with these. It's more challenging to catch fish with the plastic bait than it is with the shiners, the artificial bait. You know, so when we go out in tournaments and we fish competitively, no shiners are allowed. Let me take you to my rod. So this is my rod. This is my reel. This is the rod. So when you hear people say reeling rod, it's a combo set. The reel and the rod. A lot of people give me grief about me having a pink rod, but I always keep in mind that my grandmother, she passed away from breast cancer. So when I compete in tournaments or when I go out fishing, I always make sure that I keep me a pink rod to have her with me when I go out. The hooks. This is the hook that I'll be using. Anyway, this is the hook that I'll be using. I don't know if you guys can get a good look at it. It's called a circle hook. If you give me 1 second. I think I have some in my pocket that I purchased just for you guys. Okay, so you can find these hooks, Walmart, Dick's, Bass Pro. It's only $2.39. They're very small hooks. They are called circle hooks. And they're small because when the fish observe your bait, they don't want to see a large metal hook hanging out. Fish are very smart, okay? And the bigger the fish, the smarter they are. They don't get big by just biting anything. So you always want to make sure that you get something that can kind of camouflage in the water and not stand out to the fish to scare the fish away. All right, so that's why I have circle hooks. Now, if you really observe the line that I have on the reel, that is called braided line. Okay, if you go to the store, the line that they initially give you that's already on the reel will be monoline. Okay, and it's like a clear line. It pops very easily, so I don't get that. Let me try to turn this camera around. Okay, so the monoline, it pops very easily, and you can probably take that off. And you can get other monoline that's stronger, but the actual base line that comes on the reel, it pops very easy. So you want to take that off. I always take it off. I'm a strong believer in braided line. The color is a green color. When you throw it in the water, it blends in with the water, so you should be fine with that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my bait. I'm gonna show you guys how to hook it up so that the fish can actually swim natural. Although it will have a hook up on this dorsal fin, but it still swims kind of natural. And hopefully we can get some fish out of it. All right, stick around. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to hook up a shiner, okay? A lot of people haven't touched fish, a live fish, to this day, so they get a little queasy sometimes when they have to stick their hand in the bucket. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick my hand, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm gonna stick my hand in the bucket. The fish are gonna swim around, they're gonna flap. It's all right, you grab it, you don't squeeze, you just put enough pressure on to make sure that you have a fish. Okay, the fish got out of my hand. All right, so I have the fish. All right, so what I'm gonna do is this fin right here, I'm gonna hook the fish right underneath that fin. Can't get the leaf off. I'm gonna hook the fish right underneath that fin. That fin is called a dorsal fin. All right, so give me 1 second. Try to get a nice angle for you guys. I'm not a YouTuber, so this is all new to me. Okay, so I have my hook. Hook keep hooking me. All right, I have my hook. I have my fish. So I'm gonna stick it right underneath that dorsal fin that I was telling you guys about. It's right there. It's a slight pinch, just like you're going to the doctor. Now you see, I have the fish hooked. I don't have to hold it anymore. It's still flapping. It's still alive and well. Okay? So now that I have my fish hooked, I'm going to go out and throw out into the lake. And we're going to see what this shiner attracts. So I'm going to pause the video and turn around the camera so you guys can actually see what it is that I'm about to do. And hopefully we can get some action for you guys. I'll be right back. All right, so the camera's kind of blurry. You wipe them off. Okay, so I'm about to throw out. I release my bill so that I can throw out. And you're gonna see just a slight little toss. Okay, the fish has landed. And you just let the fish swim around until it attracts bigger fish. And that's what they do. Okay, fish love to find what they call a free lunch, a smaller fish out there that look like you're struggling to survive or anything like that. fish eat other fish, okay? It's a jungle out here. So we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And if we don't catch anything down here, I'll just walk on along the bank and I'll go down and I'll see what else is out here. Hopefully my neighbors don't come out and, you know, start being a little too nosy. Well, we're gonna be fine. So. All right, so, okay, so we're waiting. And I don't know if you guys can see my line, but the line is moving, it's tight, which means I have something on. So you gotta be patient. I'm trying to reel in and hold the phone, thanks to Moy in the GoPro. But as you can see right there we go. And it's simple. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys, this is what we call in South Florida a butterfly peacock bass, or most people just call it a peacock bass. And you can see the colors on it. You can always tell what kind of fish it is by that nice spot on his tail, okay? Peacocks have a nice color. They're from Brazil, natives of the Amazon. So they have nice tropical colors. And you can see the hook is right there. So I'm gonna remove that hook. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the hook is out of the fish mouth. You can see down in his mouth, you see his gills. Okay, fish, freshwater fish typically don't have teeth like saltwater fish, but around their lip palate is very rough, so it would scrape up your finger, it just won't cut it. So I'm gonna do a safe release, bring the fish closer to the water, and you let him go, and he's back off swimming, okay? So that's the first fish. Hopefully we can catch you guys some more. Give me 1 second to rehook my shiner, and then we're gonna go back out. All right, so we're on the second shiner. We're just waiting. Hopefully, it's kind of blurry. Getting the camera right. I think I just had a bite, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is textbook. You see how my line, the tip of my rod is bending down? It's bending down. That means I have a fish on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set my hook. And then as you can see, all right, so this is the second one of the day. All right, so what we have here, when the fish flop around, you have to calm him down and make sure that hook doesn't hook you, all right? So I always grab the fish underneath. Those fins at the top, very sharp, okay? They will poke holes in you. As you can see, the knot on his head, which we would probably call like a hematoma, but this lets you know that this fish is a male fish, all right? This is a boy, okay? As they get bigger, that knot grows, okay? So as you can see, the color on the fish, very vibrant. Still has that recognizable dot, and we know we have us a peacock bass, all right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the hook out of his mouth, and I'm gonna show you guys that I released the fish, okay? So give me 1 second, let me flip him over. Okay, got him. Let me put this down so I can take the hook out of his mouth. All right, so the hook is out of his mouth. Everything's fine. Nice catch and release. And you're gonna see me throw him back in, and he's safely swimming off. All right, simple as that. I wanna give you guys a glimpse at the actual shiner in the water. I don't know if you guys can see. Look like some lightning is about to occur, and the Y doesn't pay me enough to get struck by lightning. So we're not even gonna play with God and his creations up there. But I'm trying to get